So, today I will be talking about the African heritage behind Ackee and Saltfish, which is the national dish of Jamaica. Let's begin with talking about what Ackee actually is and what its specific African heritage is. Ackee is a fruit, and it can be found in West Africa, the Caribbean, southern Florida, and even Central America. Ackee grows on evergreen trees, which are these trees to be specific, and can be eaten all year round, but mostly in Jamaica, being that is actually their national fruit. When ackee becomes fully developed slash ripe, the pods begin to turn a bright red as seen here and split open, revealing the fruit, this yellow part. But this black part is highly toxic and should not be eaten. As mentioned before, ackee grows on evergreen trees. They're native to West Africa, specifically Guinea and Ghana, and has many names like achi, ackee, and ackee apple. It was actually brought by a slave ship captain known as Captain Plight in the mid 1700s. So, let's talk about what shellfish is and what's its African heritage. So, in the Caribbean, shellfish has many names like blanco, blanca, or dry fish, and is mainly a white fish, white meaty fish, typically cod, and is salt cured, meaning salt is rubbed all over in order to preserve it for longer, taking out all the moisture. The triangular trade between Northern Europe, Western Africa, and the Americans introduced shellfish around the same time ackee was, so the 1700s. It was initially used as fertilizer for crops, but then was doused in salt in order to prevent hungry slaves from eating them. So, the first adopters of raw shellfish were hungry slaves. But now, in order to actually make shellfish eatable, it has to be washed in a sense, meaning the salt has to be soaked off. You can either just leave it in hot water and it'll soak it off, or you can boil it about 3 times and it'll get all the salt off. So, how do you actually make ackee and saltfish? So, you would first need saltfish, of course, so cod to be specific, canola or vegetable oil, onions, diced red peppers, scotch bonnet pepper if you prefer, but if you don't like heat, don't put it in. 2 garlics, a tomato, a scallion, fresh thyme, cans of ackee, and kosher salt, black pepper, or other seasonings like paprika or onion powder. You will first need to wash off all the salt from the codfish. You can either soak it in hot water for an hour and then drain it and then do that again, or boil the saltfish for about 3 times and it'll get rid of all the saltiness. Then you would heat the oil in a skillet, adding the chopped garlic, the thyme, the onions, the scallions, the black pepper, and the scotch bonnet pepper if you prefer. Cooking that, and then putting the cod, and then putting the ackee. And then after all the ingredients are put in together, you would add your seasoning, being black pepper, salt, your paprika, your onion powder. And then you want to garnish it off with some paprika, which can be a personal preference. And it could be served with side dishes like dumplings, rice, or plantain. And in the end product should look something like this, leaving you with a delicious meal that you can serve to multiple people.